If you are about to buy a new drone, or if you think you know what DJI is capable of, stop right there. Because what is currently leaking out of Shenzhen is going to completely rewrite everything we know about sub-249-gram aviation. Welcome back, everyone. If you have been scrolling through tech forums, developer chats, and supply chain whispers over the past few weeks, you already know the internet is losing its collective mind. The topic on everyone's lips, the rumor mill driving creators crazy, and the single most anticipated piece of tech hardware on the horizon is the upcoming, highly elusive, and heavily leaked DJI Mini 6 Pro. Now, before you click away thinking this is just another recycled spec sheet or baseless internet hype, listen closely. We need to separate the absolute fiction from the terrifyingly real engineering breakthroughs that DJI is working on behind closed doors. Because if even half of these leaked specifications turn out to be true when this drone officially drops, every single person who just bought a Mini 5 Pro is going to experience instant buyer's remorse. Let's start with the elephant in the room, the timeline. If you look at DJI's historical launch playbook, they don't just rush products out to appease impatient creators. They follow a very calculated, roughly 2-year product evolution cycle. The chatter about an emergency early release has proven to be mostly wishful thinking from AI-generated tech blogs. Industry insiders and hardware analysts point to a late window development cycle. But, and this is a massive but, the reason the leaks are hitting so hard right now is because the prototype testing phases are yielding jaw-dropping results. DJI isn't just iterating, they are attempting a complete paradigm shift. Let's talk about the camera, because this is where the leaks get genuinely wild. For years, content creators have faced an uphill battle with micro-drones. Yes, previous iterations gave us incredible footage, but physics always wins. You hit limits with dynamic range, you battle rolling shutter artifacts the second you fly fast through a complex landscape, and you spend half your time messing around with physical ND filters just to keep your shutter angles cinematic. According to the latest supply chain reports, DJI's engineering team has somehow managed to crack the code on a brand new stacked CMOS sensor architecture tailored specifically for the sub-249-gram weight category. Think about that for a second. A stacked sensor means exponentially faster data readout speeds. It means the death of the dreaded rolling shutter. When you punch the sticks forward and dive down a mountain ridge or skim across a coastline at full speed, your vertical lines aren't going to warp like rubber bands. And it gets better. Whispers from component manufacturers suggest that DJI is testing a mechanical variable aperture system for the Mini 6 Pro. We are talking about moving anywhere from roughly f/1.7 down to f/11 on a drone that fits in the palm of your hand. Let that sink in. No more swapping tiny, easily lost ND filters in freezing wind on top of a mountain. You want control over your exposure in blinding midday snow or deep forest shadows? The drone handles it optically. It is a feature cinematic shooters have begged for since the inception of the Mini lineup, and if DJI pulls this off without breaking the weight limit, it changes the game entirely. Speaking of video resolution, the spec sheet leaks are pushing deep into territory that feels almost excessive for a portable travel drone. While 4K at high frame rates has been the gold standard, current engineering blueprints point toward native 6K recording capabilities. We are looking at potential uncropped 6K at 30 frames per second for ultimate landscape resolution, alongside hypersmooth high frame rate burst modes for silky smooth slow motion. Why 6K on a mini drone? It gives solo creators and documentary filmmakers the ultimate crop and reframe flexibility in post-production, letting you pull a clean 4K vertical video or a cinematic landscape out of the exact same master file without losing a single pixel of sharpness. Of course, all of these high-end optics and massive data processors demand power. And historically, battery life has been the eternal compromise of lightweight drones. You want a bigger battery? You cross the magic 249-gram regu. Latery threshold, and suddenly you are dealing with heavy commercial drone laws, mandatory registrations, and bureaucratic red tape depending on where you fly. DJI's entire business model relies on keeping things featherlight so you can toss it in your backpack and travel globally without a license headache. So how are they solving the power wall? The answer is hiding in cutting-edge chemistry. Rumors indicate that DJI is looking heavily into silicon anode battery technology for the Mini 6 Pro. Traditional lithium-ion cells are hitting their chemical ceiling in terms of energy density relative to weight. Silicon anode cells, however, can pack significantly more milliamps into the exact same physical footprint without adding measurable grams. Industry leaks hint at real-world flight times pushing anywhere from 40 to an astonishing 60 minutes on a single charge using upgraded battery packs. Imagine launching a drone from a base camp, flying miles out to a remote peak, capturing your shots, and flying all the way back with battery percentages to spare, all without ever swapping a pack or stressing about voltage drop. It completely removes battery anxiety from aerial cinematography. Now let's talk about safety and intelligence, because having a high-end camera means nothing if your drone flies straight into an oak tree. Obstacle avoidance on previous generations has gotten exceptionally good, but the Mini 6 Pro is rumored to integrate predictive active track powered by advanced neural processing chips and LiDAR-assisted spatial mapping. We are moving away from simple reactive sensing, where the drone just sees a branch and stops, to predictive pathfinding. The drone's onboard computer anticipates where you are moving, reads the dynamic environment around you, and maps complex, fluid tracking trajectories through dense forests or urban canyons autonomously. If you are a solo creator tracking yourself mountain biking, snowboarding, or driving down a coastal highway, this level of autonomous reliability means you can trust your expensive piece of glass to follow you blindly through high-risk environments while you focus entirely on your performance. Underneath the hood, communication protocols are getting a massive overhaul too. We are looking at the next evolution of DJI's transmission technology, dubbed O4 Plus, or even early whispers of O5 protocols. For anyone flying in dense urban environments or deep valleys where signal interference kills video feeds, this next-gen transmission guarantees crystal clear, ultra-low latency HD feeds over immense distances. Dropouts, stuttering previews, and signal loss could soon become relics of the past, giving you rock-solid connection reliability even when flying miles beyond your line of sight. But we have to address the elephant in the room, the regulatory landscape, especially if you are watching this from the United States. You cannot talk about DJI in the current tech climate without acknowledging the heavy political crosswinds. With ongoing legislative debates, FCC scrutiny, and potential restriction lists floating around Washington, the big question on every American buyer's mind isn't just what the drone can do, but whether you will actually be able to buy it legally. Regulatory hurdles and trade restrictions are real, and they pose a massive logistical challenge for DJI's market rollout strategy. Will the US government place blanket bans that block the Mini 6 Pro entirely? Will regulatory pressure force structural software compromises? These are questions that even the deepest leaks cannot fully answer yet, and they remain the single biggest threat to the drone's global success. When you weigh all of these pieces together, the Stacked sensor, the mechanical variable aperture, 6K video, silicon anode endurance, and next-gen LiDAR tracking, the DJI Mini 6 Pro shapes up to be the most ambitious consumer tech product of the decade. But it also begs a critical question for you as a consumer. Should you wait, or should you pull the trigger on what's currently available? Technology is a never-ending cycle. If you sit around waiting for the next big leap to become a reality, you will spend your entire life watching specs instead of making art. The current generation of drones is already insanely capable, allowing professionals to capture breathtaking cinematic work that Hollywood studios would have killed for a decade ago. So here is my honest, unfiltered coup. If your current setup is working, keep flying, keep creating, and keep mastering your craft. Don't let FOMO paralyze your creative output. But keep your eyes locked right here on this channel, because the moment concrete firmware leaks, FCC filings, or official announcement dates drop, you are going to hear it here first.